All right. Peace. Back again with the Isis Thesis. And we're in section 5. The many faces of a legacy. Ooh, chapter 5. And this should be, part 5 of the book in chapter 21. Wow, man. Thank y'all for reading along with me, the ones that have. We should have some good builds on this one, man, when it's all said and done. Good builds. Hold on, turn the light on this a little bit. Get these. Screenshot, please. Let me know if you didn't get a page. Because I just didn't have it clear enough, or whatever the case may be. Get your screenshot on. Let me know if you can't see something, man. Okay. All right, big baby. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe and help Big Brother out, please. Thank you. All right, part 5 of our book, The Isis Thesis, The Many Faces of a Legacy. Perhaps we may ask ourselves where this passionate quest for truth can lead us. Science advances with great strides, astonishing discoveries issue each day from its laboratories. By its bold theories, it opens out for us wonderful new vistas of the mystery of things. Will it then soon lift the veil of Isis, making us definitely penetrate into the secrets of nature, giving an assured answer to the great metaphysical problems which for so many centuries vexed the soul of man? Louis de Broglie, Nobel laureate, Physics 1929, from Physics and Microphysics 1955. Lambda Genesis, the Egyptian model of how the matter is constructed within a black hole. The folding of Ci protein is native conformation results in Homo sapiens trapped in the Earth system, while the folding of Cro protein results in the recombinant Homo sapiens lambda reversing time into a early universe. In the Egyptian afterlife, the action happens within the energy landscape of a protein folding funnel or the Earth's cell's vortex. However, in the quantum world of proteins and non-locality, separate locations are the same locations. So the protein folding funnel is not only the Earth's cell's vortex, but it is also a representation of the Planck length early universe. According to string theory, this early universe can be described as a quantum foam of 10 dimensions containing microscopic black holes that are continuously created and annihilated with no cause or effect. According to the Anduat, the Book of Gates, and the Egyptian Book of Dead, the protein product of the transformed deceased ultimately travels through a transmembrane tunnel into the chemiluminescent realm of the early universe. This release from the Earth cell vortex results from the merger of the deceased into the sun god, a lambda vector for the journey through the whole cell. In contrast, if CI protein beats Crow to the operator sequence, a CI product blooms in the macrocosmic Earth system of photosynthesis and matter. The failure to merge with the sun god vector brings a second death, what amounts to a recycling of one's immortal part back to our fermion mirage world, our hologram of hell, that is the upside down Earth system of photosynthesis and CI protein products. The cosmic subway. In the quantum domain, the Earth cell's vortex acts as a gateway to a cosmic subway back to the early universe. First, DNA damage or magnetic reconnection creates a tear in spacetime. The recombinant species in exotic matter with negative energy travels into the spacetime tear of a spinning vortex or a quantum mechanical curved black hole. Recall the mathematicians Roy Kerr found that a rotating black hole would eventually collapse to a ring, not a point. Traveling to the ring results in large but finite gravity and access to an Einstein-Rosen bridge or wormhole on the scale of the Planck length, leading to a mirror universe. So when the recombinant species enters the duat or Earth cell and leaves by a transmembrane tunnel, the pharaohs are describing the process of an exotic species relocating by an Einstein-Rosen wormhole to a quantum mirror universe. The current cosmological view of our universe is that it is a huge black hole. Some cosmologists believe that a singularity forming inside a black hole universe can give birth to a baby universe. In Egyptian science, the path through the spinning vortex of the Earth cell is the same path as a protein folding into its native conformation in an energy landscape funnel. Both these processes point to the dynamics of a black hole singularity, as do the Egyptian textual references. Current theory states the material falling into a singularity in our space-time can be shunted through a kind of space-time warp that emerges as an expanding singularity in another space-time of 4 dimensions at right angles to the familiar 4 dimensions of our space-time. The funerary text points to this idea when the deceased sun god enters the black duat or the folding funnel, where crow protein folds into the recombinant species. The tunneling movement of the recombinant crow species out of the black hole duat into the early universe results in the expanding singularity at the scale of the Planck length, a white hole. The Egyptians' text emphasize that the evolutionary shunt into the early universe only happens by a specific pathway linked to merging with the sun god. Within the energy landscape of the energy cell's vortex, we can assume that other figurative pathways result in severe gravitational pressure and or a recycling of the elements back to the Earth system of matter, possibly in the forms of plants, animals, or humans. Woo! Dark energy. Dark energy is a hypothetical energy and pressure that uniformly fills space. Similarly, dark matter is matter suffused through space, exerting gravity but not emitting light. According to recent measurements of the cosmic microwave background and Chandra observations that agree with results of the Hubble Space Telescope, our universe consists of 4% visible matter, 21% cold dark matter, and 75% dark energy. This is from the Harvard-Smithsonian Center of Astrophysics in 2004. Both visible 4% and dark matter 21% account for 25% of our universe's critical density, whereas dark energy accounts for 75% and causes the universe's expansion to accelerate. This means that humans are part of the 4% composition of protons, neutrons, and electrons in the universe. The question arises, is the recombinant species dark energy? Or, once again, is the recombinant species dark energy? Scientists only understand some of the properties of dark energy. It is a repulsive force responsible for the acceleration of the universe. It is related to vacuum energy density. It is distributed homogeneously in the universe. Relative to this, Brian Greene explains cosmic evolution follows. Early on, the energy of the universe was carried by the inflation field, which was purged away from its minimum energy state because its negative pressure. The inflation drove an enormous burst of inflationary expansion. Then, some 10 to the 35th seconds later, as the inflation field slid down its potential energy bowl, the burst of expansion drew to a close and the inflation released its pent up energy to the production of ordinary matter and radiation. Green explains that spatial expansion slowed until about 7 billion years ago when it became weak enough for the gravitational repulsion of the universe's cosmological constant to dominate. Thus, the current rate of spatial expansion is increasing. Reviewing these dynamics from the Egyptian perspective, it seems that the transformation of the deceased from fermions to bosons could represent the creation and emergence of dark energy into the early universe, operating as an outward gravitational push, increasing expansion of the universe. Dark energy would then drive the acceleration of the universe. As the text indicates, the king's head and backs are of lapis lazuli, and he makes lapis lazuli grow. To the pharaohs, lapis lazuli represents the night sky, but simply the black hole duat operates similar to an engine that pumps dark energy into the early universe through an Eisenstein-Rosen bridge, causing the entire cosmos to expand, making lapis lazuli grow. As discussed earlier, the recombinant phase progeny reproduce at an exponential proportion. At the same time, this black hole engine uses the recycled matter within the nets of its Earth's gravitational field. The light of the process, a transformation to upgrade the common matter 4% to a more abundant form of dark energy at 75%, may be a reasonable choice for an afterlife consciousness trapped within the Earth's magnetic spirit system, or worse, trapped within an E. coli host organism, according to the pharaohs. As Brian Greene says, the stuff of which we're made is like flotsam, or the cosmic ocean. In line with this idea, physicist Lee Smolin has indicated that at best we may be a byproduct of black hole processes, and at worst we may be parasites. The pharaohs reiterate that the idea of Green and Smolin in the simple statements of the deceased sun god: I will not eat feces, I will not drink urine, and I will not ask for a brain. Nonetheless, the deceased in the afterlife can choose to become Homo sapiens lambda by the creative union with the lambda sun god, who journeys along the guided diffusion path of the maltose transport system to the Osiris prophet site. According to the Emerald Tablets of Hermes Trismegistus, This results in the deceased becoming the glory of the whole world, or possibly the dark energy present in our expanding universe as defined by the deceased's desire to become the four winds of the sky. For simplicity, we can refer to the Egyptian model of matter creation outlined in the thesis of Lambda Genesis. The major precepts of the model based on our interpretation of the 870 signs are: what is above is like below. Egyptian science compares the entry of the solar wind and high energy particles into the Earth's magnetosphere as equivalent to the process of an incoming phage lambda attaching, injecting its DNA into a bacterial host. The high energy elements come from the supernovae explosions. This knowledge enables the pharaohs to identify a cosmic process similar to lysis or lysogeny decision pathways of bacteriophage lambda. 2. Lambda structure is imprinted on our universe. Relative to this cosmic model, approximately 3.8 billion years ago, lambda lysogeny, resulting from CI protein production in the prokaryotic Earth cell, activated the transition to the eukaryotic development and photosynthesis. Prior to that time, the original lambda structure, as signified by protein control and chemiluminescence, was imprinted on the universe. Number 3, evolutionary merge into lambda results in Homo sapien lambda. The lambda model predicts that at death, human death rather, a transformation pathway for species diversification and genetic survival exists. If the deceased chooses to insert into what might be called an incoming phage lambda that activates the lytic lifestyle, this results in a journey into the Earth cell that creates a bioluminescent life form that uses lactose as an energy source. The evolutionary merge results in the recombinant species Homo sapien lambda that is shunted into the early universe. Pathways also exist for recycling back to a synthetic life form by means of thermal heat reaction in the Earth cell. Number 4, the Earth cell exhibits the energy landscape of a protein folding funnel. Accordingly, lambda entry into the host Earth cell causes DNA breaks. Single-stranded DNA activates the SOS response of the Earth cell. Direct A cleaves the repressor proteins Lex A and CI. Cleavage of the Lex A repressor protein activates the Lex A regulon, depressing the 42 genes. Cleavage of the lambda CI repressor induces the existing lambda prophets to excise. Phage lambda degradation occurs. The recombinant phage progeny escape from the Earth cell through a transmembrane tunnel. And number 5, the protein folding funnel has the properties of a quantum mechanical curved black hole. The black duat with its circles, horizon spears, tunnels, and places of dragging exhibits the properties of quantum mechanical curved black hole. The evolutionary shunt of the Homo sapien lambda into an early universe results from fermion to boson transformation, CPT violation, biosynthesis as a left-handed particle, negative energy, and movement through a Einstein-Rosen bridge, where the species energy, the species emerges with the quantum consciousness of the deceased as Hawking radiation or dark energy. The cosmological constant, what Einstein calls lambda. Obviously, the emergence of the deceased from the black hole duat does not result in information loss, the king attains the limit of the horizon, where modern theory postulates that evaporation occurs just outside the horizon. An apparent horizon forms and unravels, releasing the so-called Hawkins radiation that carries valuable information